Hi, Julio. Let's take a look at what you've written us today. Local governments pushing companies into rural areas. Let's say, in recent years, there are a number of politicians who have raised the question of whether medium and large companies should move out of capital cities. Doubtless is usually just the word, not doubtlessly. It's usually just undoubtedly or doubtless. It would be a delicate decision, and there are numerous advantages and disadvantages which will be covered in the present essay. I don't know how I feel about this. It's a delicate decision. Maybe it's a delicate issue, or maybe just it is an issue with numerous advantages and disadvantages that will be covered. I'm happy with that too. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. On the one hand, it is well known that there are thousands of unemployed young adults in the peripheral Spanish cities. Thousands of unemployed. Okay. As a result, forcing companies to settle in regional locations would be a phenomenal way to improve the employment rate in the least economically developed areas of the country. A second major benefit of this measure is that life in large cities is markedly more expensive than in small cities. Consequently, if enterprises move to these regions, they would significantly reduce the amount of money they spend in wages and renting office buildings. In light of the fact that nowadays there is fierce competition among companies, this decision would help entrepreneurs to meet targets without plummeting profits. Lovely. I really like that. Okay, let's continue. On the other hand, it is commonly agreed that young adults would rather live in the main capital cities than in peripheral areas of the country. If companies moved out of large cities, many talented workers would decide to switch jobs so as to stay in the same town. In addition, from a cost perspective, it cannot be denied that transport would be a serious issue for a number of businesses. Moving to regional locations means spending a large quantity of money in transport, which can be detrimental for the company's profits. In fact, a recent study showed that 10% of enterprises which moved last year from Madrid or Barcelona to smaller towns and states went bankrupt in a matter of 1 year. Excellent. To conclude, in our globalized and interconnected world, it is increasingly common that local governments push national companies to move from the main capital cities to regional locations. This measure has numerous benefits and drawbacks. As a consequence, politicians must think twice before taking a critical decision like this one. I think this is fantastic. This is so good. You really developed, you really supported. I'm really quite happy with this. Very, very few comments here, so excellent job. All right, really, I have no other comments about it. You can see I got through it in 2.5 minutes. There's nothing to say about it. I thought you did a fantastic job, okay? All right, let's continue. Okay. I'm really curious about your word count here. It looks kind of small. Of course, you wrote it right in your email body, so it's difficult to see the word count without actually putting it in some other form. In any case, let's see what you wrote. The graph provides information regarding the multiple stages in tea production. The white tea process consists of sorting and cleaning the fresh tea leaves, followed by steaming and drying them in order to get to this type of infusion. It represents the simplest way of making tea. Okay. The remaining varieties of tea need the withering of the leaves before starting the process. Okay. First, steaming or firing the leaves is a fundamental step in order to make green tea. Afterwards, we need to roll and shape the leaves or dry them if we add jasmine. Second, in order to prepare oolong tea, it is essential to shake or roll the tea leaves in a basket to bruise the leaf edges prior to a short fermentation, pan frying, and drying. Finally, black tea needs rolling or cutting the leaves before full fermentation and drying. There's a special type of tea called scented tea. In order to prepare this infusion, we should dry the leaves and scent them with flowers or fruits. In the end, we shall let the beverage cool down. All right, so grammatically it's lovely, lexically it's fine. I definitely feel like you missed some really wonderful opportunities here to do a lot of things. One thing you missed an opportunity to do, number one, was group. There was a lot of chances here. There are a lot of places where you could have grouped and you didn't. And so I felt like you had literally one sentence for each T type, and that's not so great in terms of development. So let's see. Here it is. All right, so let me tell you first what I do. You have to make connections here. So the first connection I felt like you missed was this, that for the 4 T types, white, green, oolong, and black, the initial and the final stage are the same. So they all are first sorted and cleaned, and they are all dried as their last step. Okay? So what you've done here is you've really just taken this great opportunity to get rid of two of the main steps here for all of them. Then you could say white tea is the simplest process as it has the only intermediate step of steaming, and then you're done. The other three tea types, green, oolong, and black, share the second stage. They're all withered as their second stage. Okay, and then here you've got some choices you can make. Okay, um, you could say that rolling is a common feature for all three tea types. Okay, and then you could say that before rolled and shaped, green tea is pan fried, steamed, or fired. Okay. You could say oolong tea is rolled or shaken to brew the tea leaves, while black is either rolled into strips or cut for broken black. Okay, and then you're done with this, and you're also done with green tea because the last stage is drying. Then you could say only oolong and black have a fermentation process. For oolong, this is short fermentation, while for black it is full. Oolong is the most complicated of the four types, as it has an additional step before drying of pan frying, and you're done with them. Okay, so do you see how I joined them? I combined them. Then you say of the four tea types, white, green, oolong, and black, only black, green, and oolong can be used for scented tea. First, the leaves are dried, they are scented with fruits or flowers, and then they are cooled. That's it, you're done. Okay? So what would have been a good overview? Because I don't remember seeing an overview for this either now that I think about it. A good overview would have been that white tea is the simplest, oolong is the most complex, and of the four types, only white tea cannot be used for uh, scented tea. Yeah, so there's no overview here. So this would not have gotten a 6 in task achievement, and such a shame because everything else is lovely. So you missed having an overview, okay? And it also felt for me really underdeveloped and not really grouped very strategically. So as far as task achievement and coherence and cohesion are concerned, I don't think this would have done very well. All right? So those are the things that I want you to think about as you continue, okay? So let me know if you have any questions. Nice job again with the grammar and vocabulary, but the other areas of the criteria need to be worked on, okay? Good luck on your next set.